What an astounding revolution. Bitcoin is immune from attack.
Welcome to the Crypto Show's Digital Cash Evolution right here in Phoenix, Arizona on KFNX 1100 AM. And we are decentralized once again. I'm in Vegas again this week, and Doug is in studio. Doug, are you there, and am I coming in clear?
You are perfect. We are here, and we are ready to go. We're ready to rock.
All right. Doug has a new, promotion that he's got going with his ATMs around town, and we wanted to get to that right away to let everybody know. And also let everybody know to come out tonight to Classic Crust Pizza, or do you have another location picked out, Doug?
Nope. We got Classic Crust, and we're going to be out there probably by around 6 o'clock. So, yeah.
And so what we have here is with Classic Crust Pizza, it is a great place in Phoenix where you can go and get a great pizza, a beer, and you can spend cryptocurrency to do so. The owner takes all different kinds of cryptocurrency. So anytime you want to show up, he will definitely help you out and teach you anything you need to know about cryptocurrencies. And Doug, let us know about your promotion with the ATMs.
We are, experimenting, and we're excited to kind of try something a little different here. So we have 9 ATMs, Bitcoin ATMs throughout Arizona. And what we want to start doing on the show weekly as a bonus for you guys is to highlight one of our locations. We're going to call it ATM of the Week. And you can go in throughout that week. Today's location is going to be Trader Smoke Shop at 14880 Northside Boulevard, Suite 104 in Scottsdale. And so what we're going to do as an additional bonus for you guys is for the radio listeners, if you text
Phoenix Crypto with no spaces, Phoenix Crypto to the number 33222, we'll receive that. What we're going to do is we're going to activate an extra 15% off for the rest of the day. That's just the day of show. So if you guys are able to get down there today and you want to text us that Phoenix Crypto at 33222, you're going to get a 30% discount for today. But after today, if you can't make it today, there's going to be a 15% discount for all visitors, not just those.
And that's for the whole week.
And that's for the whole week. And so, and we're not getting paid to promote the smoke shop, but we want to see them succeed because they've helped us in hosting our ATMs, and we're very grateful to them. So, we want to see them succeed. And so, I just want to talk a little bit about Traders. They've been, great partners for us. Awesome. All their shops do really well. And they wanted me to share. I was in there talking, and they were telling me about a new product. I mean, a ton. You need to go down there and check them out. But
right.
A new product. Xander, knows a little bit more about this than I do. But this CBD.
Yeah, CBD oil. I mean, they got tons of it there. It's and I go there for certain things.
And so with this shop, have you got them to take cryptocurrency as well, or they just let you put the ATM in so far?
Not yet. We are trying. We're always actively trying to get our hosts to accept crypto.
Hey, we've got a guest that's probably crammed for time. I know there's he's one of the keynote speakers here, and I want to get his take on something that happened yesterday. So I was sitting here watching Paul Krugman and the rest of these guys bash Bitcoin, and so we had kind of a pro and against panel. And Micheal, I'm talking with Micheal Terpin, who's one of the bigger promoters for Bitcoin. He hosts multiple conferences, and he's actually working on some stuff in Puerto Rico and trying to get crypto mainstream in Puerto Rico as well, as he lives here part-time in Vegas and in Puerto Rico. Micheal, what was your take on that whole fiasco on stage?
Well, I wasn't here for it, but I did read the media accounts. I mean, it's basically the exact same thing that he had put in his New York Times column, which was, this ridiculous assumption that, because cryptocurrency in his mind isn't as efficient as credit cards, therefore it's going backwards. Instead of seeing that there's a lot of other reasons why you want to have a currency that is, not backed by thin air. He seems to believe that, and again, he's sort of very establishment oriented, and believes that governments can print trillions of dollars and have no ill effects. And it worked in Zimbabwe until it didn't. It worked in Venezuela until it didn't, and it worked in the Holy Roman Empire until it didn't.
They actually brought up Venezuela too at the end, and it was actually one of the naysayers that brought up Venezuela. And this is the perfect example of what cryptocurrency is good for. But one of the other things that he did say was that cryptocurrency is like having an ink pen with facial recognition. You just don't need it. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
Paul Krugman has this long history of making very bizarre analogies that turn out to be absolutely wrong. In the early days of the internet, he poo-pooed the internet, and he said it will prove to be no more important than the fax machine.
So there you go.
Warren Buffett had a similar, in I think in 2013, he was saying that I don't understand why anybody's paying any attention to Bitcoin, and it's basically just a fancy check printer.
Right.
So again, if you don't understand the technology, you can make all sorts of inaccurate analogies. It doesn't mean you're right just because you have an expertise in a completely unrelated field. Mark Andreessen was, sort of grilled at a conference I was at years ago when, Warren Buffett said that, the blockchain and Bitcoin is just an expensive check printer and must be dead now because Warren Buffett pronounced it being, not worth much. And, he had a great line, which was basically that the history of elderly white men with no technology background being able to predict technology trends is basically zero.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Michael, I guess before you go, let us know about your upcoming conferences. We only got about a minute left, actually less.
Sure. So our big Global Coin Agenda conference, it's our 5th year, is right here at Mandalay Bay. First time we're holding it at Mandalay Bay. And it's October 23rd to 25th. You go to coinagenda.com. We should have some stuff up now, and we'll be populating the speaker list in the next few days. I was a little bit busy suing AT&T today for $224 million.
Yeah, maybe coming back we can touch on that a little bit, because that's actually a pretty important topic, and it's been happening to a lot of people where you can just walk right into AT&T and say you're so-and-so and take over someone's phone and steal all of their bitcoins and everything else. Michael, we were talking about AT&T hacking, well, actually people who work at AT&T, and just people being able to walk right into AT&T and say, hey, I'm Micheal Terpin, let me change my phone number real quick. Tell us about that and how people can protect themselves from these issues.
Well, until AT&T changes its policies, the only way you can protect yourself is to not have AT&T. Because I was given the heightened sort of celebrity status account where I was told that by being given a 6 alphanumeric password that could not be changed, that I would be safe, that nobody could come in without that password, even if it was me, and activate it without that password. And yet that's exactly what happened. And with all these arrests that have been happening, and that's in my complaint, which is available online. You can just Google any of the news stories, and they point to the 69-page complaint in the U.S. federal court in District Court in Los Angeles. There have been arrests of people where these criminal gangs are finding low-level AT&T employees through social media and approaching them on Telegram and saying, hey, we'll give you $1,000 if you hand over someone's SIM card. That's more than you're making per hour, isn't it? And, it's just unconscionable that AT&T is looking the other way. So the only thing you can do until they stop doing this, and I think our suit is going to be necessary to really get their attention, is to not use AT&T. quite frankly, you're much safer if you're high profile, not using any of the telcos. You should use something like Cricket, where it's prepaid, or if you must have a carrier, make sure that your real number is only known by your loved ones, and the number you give out for business is a Google Voice number, because that cannot be SIM swapped. Neither can prepaid cards, but any of the telcos can be SIM swapped. AT&T simply has the worst record and the most evidence of internal employees working with the gangs.
Awesome. So thanks very much, Michael. We have quite a few guests, but I really do appreciate you coming on. And
okay. Thank you.
We'll talk to you again, and I'll probably be checking out your conference here. What was the date again on that conference?
Again, it is Coin Agenda, coinagenda.com. Our big global event is October 23rd to 25th in Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay. It's the high end, and also we have a contest for startups and ICOs. You can see that on the site.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. And Doug, one more time about your ATM. What and that special deal, where is that located? Thanks so much, Mike.
Long till next Wednesday's show. We're gonna switch locations and do this every week. At Trader Smoke Shop this week at 14880 North Site Boulevard, Suite 104 in Scottsdale. You're gonna get an automatic 15% discount just by using that ATM and going to the smoke shop, and help them out and buy something while you're there. But what we're going to do for the radio listeners today is, if you want to text Phoenix Crypto to number 33222, we're going to activate your account, your Bitcoin, your ATM account, and you can do that once you get there. But we'll activate it, and another 15% discount off of the fee. So total of 30% if you text Phoenix Crypto to 33222.
Wow, 30% off of crypto purchases at an ATM. That's almost unheard of. Normally it's 15% markup. So you're going below market.
But no, we're doing that's take the 15% off of the existing markup.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, well, still that's pretty dang good. Yeah. And what are your percentages on these machines?
Starting at 9%, and they go down to 7% if you're above 3,000. So some volume discounts. So take 30% off of that the 9% markup, or the 7% if you're above 3,000.
Okay. And I have another guy sitting here. We've got actually several guests, and I just kind of want to talk about some of the different technologies and stuff that are associated with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and of course the magic word blockchain that gets thrown around so much. And we have Aaron Duda, who you worked with IBM, or how is that?
Yeah, a while back, actually. Yeah.
What was it?
I'm sorry?
You worked with who? AOL?
No, IBM, actually.
IBM. Awesome. And so what is your current project?
Well, what we're doing right now, we're building one of the first commodities-backed exchange, and it's a platform called Freemium. Okay, and Freemium, basically what it does is three things. It allows us to basically create liquidity in new and different ways. And it also, at the same time, while we do that, we create a whole bunch of financial services on top of a blockchain, the magic word, okay? Yeah. That enables a whole new different kinds of markets and sectors, how exchanges of value will be created. We have focused primarily in the time being in Africa, several countries there, due to the needs and the growth rate and the opportunity that we see there. We put together a who's who of collaborations and companies. It's obviously Freemium is the lead on this. I'm as the chief strategy officer there, working with Wayne Chain, who is also our partner.
Oh, okay.
As well as.
So is this on Wayne? I'm sorry. Is this on a Wayne Chain platform, or?
Yes, we're actually going through that whole process right now. We were one of the first people selected to Wayne Chain Labs. Okay. The new co-creation of the new next generation platforms. So we're using that.
I know Dustin Byington.
Yeah, Dustin's pretty close to us. Yeah, I guess the Austin connection, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. And we're also working with BitSapphire as well as Vapor, which is my old company that builds trusted platforms for transaction management and exchanges and marketplaces. And we're very excited. We are going through a private raise right now. We hope to open this up to a public raise around October and close it in December. Very interesting way how we're approaching capital formulation for this, because the nature, the globality of this, it being not only service people across African countries, but we're also servicing the diaspora, like your colleague there in Austin. There's a lot of people who also would like to get advantage of the new transaction fees and transaction costs that are available with this new infrastructure and be able to send money home. And we see the market to be in the trillions of dollars just in the foundational aspect. And then we're going to put other things as a stack of services on top of that.
So how do you see this? You're talking about putting commodities on the blockchain. Is this going to be easier access for the general public than what's currently available?
Yeah, actually, the overarching theme over here is financial inclusion. So when you look at the rural areas, whether it's Africa or India or a lot of these countries, people do not have access to banking. Okay, very few do. In our case, probably less than 2% who have access to banking. So there's an underserved and unserved marketplace of almost several billion people. Okay, and these people are basically producing things that could be perishable. When we talk about commodities, okay, it could be bananas, it could be palm oil, it could be cotton and so forth.
Right.
And it's very difficult for them to trade these things, not just amongst each other, because you're talking about 55 countries just in Africa alone.
Do you have a quick opinion? Did you watch the Krugman thing yesterday?
Well, I did not. I was actually speaking to a real economist, but
an Austrian.
Yeah, a couple of them actually. But having grown up in New York City and spending almost 30 years in the capital markets, I do understand the position you took earlier when you opened it up. It's kind of silly. I mean, I've gone through the whole internet thing, and I've taken a couple of companies public in the early days when everybody told me I couldn't do it.
While I don't agree with the guy, I think it's really unique that these guys bring this, this counterbalance to the conference so that you can actually get, have these discussions.
Well, it's disappointing, I mean, obviously he's got all the credentials. He's a Nobel laureate, and he's doing his op-ed pieces, and it's hard not to see him in places these days, especially when you're dealing with finance and economics and so forth. But with that said, it's just very interesting that it's so bipolar. Either there's no meeting ground in these things anymore. Either you're on this side or that side, and I don't understand why we have gentlemen like that in these kind of shows. It's just a buzzkill.
Right. All right. Well, I've got next up here, we've got Jose Rodriguez, who's actually a friend of mine. I've known this guy for quite some time, and he is one of the big dogs at actually the largest Bitcoin cryptocurrencies exchange in Mexico. And apparently he is Superman at this conference as well. So go ahead, a little closer to the mic there.
Bulletproof, man. Having a great time here, and people having great to me, all the organizers and everyone, and having a very great time.
So what did you think of Krugman's wild statement yesterday? I know you actually tweeted it out.
It's so funny. Yeah. If you want to follow me at Twitter, I'm Jose Pimpo, El Pimpo. And yeah, he said that Bitcoin and blockchain is a pointless technology that brings back economy to the 17th century. Pointless like a fountain pen with facial recognition. And
and this is the same guy who thinks that we should break all of our windows to stimulate the economy, right?
That's right. Well, after his presentation, there was a good debate afterwards about pros and cons about Bitcoin, blockchain, and the space. And I think that was a great debate, a great panel that we had yesterday.
Yeah, definitely so. And I was actually surprised that one of the anti-Bitcoin people from the Department of Justice had brought up the idea of Venezuela being a good market for it. Well, if it's the U.S., man, if it keeps printing money the way it is, I mean,
21 trillion. And the biggest bubble of all time isn't what Nouriel Roubini or Paul Krugman or Joseph Stiglitz or Agustin Carstens, now the former head of the Mexican Central Bank, now the head of the Bank of International Settlements, the central bank of central bankers. They say the biggest bubble of all time time and all history is cryptocurrencies, they're liars. First of all, dot-com bubble was huge. Then 2008 bubble was bigger. And now you have the biggest and the most harmful bubble of all time, which is U.S. debt, over $21 trillion.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But, hyperinflation doesn't affect us quite as bad, probably because we're backed by guns instead of gold or... I don't know.
And printers and the biggest population in jail in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about remittances, because that seems to be a pretty big thing that you're dealing with the Mexican Bitcoin exchange. What's the market like for remittances, and how does that play out with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies?
So at the beginning of this year, 2018, we surpassed 500,000 users. And one of the use cases, of course, is international payments and remittances. Unfortunately, we cannot do it directly because of so many laws that exist in the US and so many restrictions, and you can even go to jail if you do something that they don't like. So what we do is that we made solutions and integrations and become the last mile to create a process end-to-end and be part of that process and help them with technology and advising and building this bridge so we can be a part of it. And it's the biggest U.S. corridor and income in Mexico is remittances.
Right. And around the world, remittances is huge too. What's the global market for remittances?
I don't have the number in my head, but the biggest income for US dollars in Mexico used to be oil. Now it's the second biggest one. Number one is remittances since like 3 years ago.
Right. And so what kind of percentage are you guys playing in that market with cryptocurrencies, do you think?
For remittances, I have no idea. We have to run some numbers, but something that is funny and exciting is that banks and financial institutions and international remittances companies are coming to us to integrate and create solutions. And some of them are the biggest names in the world.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Jose, and stick around too. We'll do some more stuff after this show. Definitely want to talk to you some more. Okay. I want to get to one of our other guests, and I'm sorry, I don't even have your name right now. So I talked to the other guy from SkyCoin. So what is SkyCoin, and what are you guys trying to solve?
Yes, so SkyCoin is doing quite a few bit of things right now. We have our own blockchain that has transaction times of 2 seconds. It's also free. We have a platform where coins can launch their own products on our blockchain technology. So similar to ERC20, the main differentiator is that we give each coin their own blockchain. We have a scripting language called CX, which is in development for writing smart contracts, which should be finalized soon. And then we have different applications we're working on top of our blockchain. One of those is Skywire, which is our decentralized meshnet internet, which is currently in the testnet phase.
That's actually what I was really most interested in.
2 minutes.
So you guys are actually coming up with an off-grid internet, I guess, a new internet that people can use and not have to worry about it getting taken down?
Exactly. So we have physical hardware that we're shipping all around the world. We have 800 units which have gone out to most all continents. And right now you actually plug this in on top of your existing ISP and it acts as a VPN. But phase 2, which is really exciting, is when we have antennas which are finalized. They're currently in development. You'll be able to put one of those on your roof and then broadcast Wi-Fi to your neighbors. And they'll be able to connect to your Wi-Fi and pay you in our crypto, which is SkyCoin.
So you could become an internet provider to your neighbors.
Exactly.
Using cryptocurrency. So, see, these are the kind of things, like I was talking about Krugman being on stage yesterday and all the naysayers saying, what do I need crypto for? What do I need, Bitcoin? What do I need all of these things for? And these are great great uses for it. So
it's something that Paul probably did not even think was possible, right? And we're using cryptocurrency as a motivator for that.
I wonder, could you transmit one of those facial recognition pins over your internet for him?
Yeah, exactly, right. Definitely need to do that.
I want to wrap up real quick with Mark from SkyCoin. Tell us again, Mark, where we can find out about SkyCoin, and go back over that internet thing real quick, just to let people know what kinds of things you can actually do with cryptocurrencies and blockchains.
Yeah, sure. So we're building a decentralized meshnet internet. So we have physical hardware, which we have shipped out to over 800 people in the world, and there's actually 5,000 people on the waiting list. And these are actual nodes that you will set up in your house. You'll have an antenna on your roof, and you'll broadcast Wi-Fi to your neighbors within a 1 or 2 mile radius, and they will connect to your Wi-Fi, and they'll pay you in our crypto, SkyCoin. You can find us on skycoin.net. That's our website. There is a ton of useful information out there. You can also sign up on our waiting list via the website.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot. And, you got to think about that. If the government decides to take down your internet, and, the companies that are working for the government, Google, Facebook, all these guys, they're censoring Alex Jones, they're censoring Ron Paul, they're censoring anybody they want. That's where it's starting. And the next, maybe they'll start censoring your internet. And things like mesh nets are ways to access the internet without having to worry about, the big brother taking it down. Because, you can't stop this, can you?
Unless the government goes door to door, there's no stopping it. No problem.
There you go. So
what exactly network for all the people that don't understand that?
Yeah, explain a mesh network really quick.
So it's just going to broadcast Wi-Fi it will have omnidirectional antennas, so they'll go 360 degrees, and you'll just be able to connect to it via your cell phone or your computer. It'll show up just like a regular Wi-Fi does at a hotel. You'll be able to connect to it and access the regular internet, today's internet, through that.
So kind of a way of explaining it would be having different routers. If you have a huge house and you need multiple routers around your house so that you could get internet here and there. So if people are in a neighborhood have multiple of these things going on, then the whole neighborhood would have internet.
Correct.
So there you have it. And
another decentralized solution.
Yeah, another decentralized solution. It's a decentralized and distributed. All these things are topics that are talked about with cryptocurrencies, and they can be buzzwords, but they're also they are actual real solutions. And I want to switch over to James Sung, who does some gaming stuff, and I want to find out about that. But before I do, Doug, let us know again. Let everybody know about where the location is for your ATM and what they can expect tonight when they come out and buy their beer and pizza with cryptocurrency at Classic Crust Pizza.
Come on down. You can get your questions answered. Talk to some of the top knowledgeable people in crypto in Arizona, and I'm certainly not talking about myself. I'm talking about Alex and
right.
and the other people that are there. The owner of the store was into crypto before I was. I met him. School. Yeah, I met him in the early days. And
he's actually a developer. He's developing his own coin. He hosts his own Lightning node. He created his own point of sale. You can go there and see this world famous Lightning Pizza beer point of sale system that is only available at Classic Crust Pizza. So, definitely check that out. And you're going to have a room full of nerds to tell you all about cryptocurrencies and these other things that are surrounding cryptocurrencies. But let's get to James. James, tell me about your project, and you will want to be close to the mic on that.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. I just flew over 16 hours from China to meet everyone here. The very basic...
You look Mexican. No, I'm just kidding.
The very basic pitch is that we offer developer tools to help game developers get on the blockchain and to help them monetize their games. There's a real big problem in the industry right now where, quality games are not coming out because game developers are not able to monetize, and they're not able to monetize because there's so many problems, and it's such a big industry. There's so much money in it, but there's so many problems, and blockchain is great, but there's so many people have so many different ideas on how to use it. We feel like we found a perfect solution, perfect use case for blockchain. So I'll give you a quick example. We have because I'm out of China. One of the most popular games is called Amyongji, and it has over 100 million users, and it generates about $5 million in revenue a day. Now, this game, it's big business over there. This game has a lot of assets in it. Like you can buy swords, so you can fight other people, and of course, there's special swords, limited edition swords, which cost more than others. Now, one sword might cost $1, but their special edition sword might cost a lot of money, and that lot of money, I had a friend who bought a sword for $15,000 because he loved the game, and they're tradable, they're commodities, even though they're virtual.
What this really kind of does is it allows not just gamers, but independent gamers, people who are independent and trying to create their own products. It gives them a way of getting their product out there on the market without having to sell their soul to the big game company, right?
That's right. But the point that I was getting to is that there's a lot of cheating. So this game, even though it was so popular, my friend, he lost his investment because the very next month, the company decided to give everybody special swords, or they decided to sell it for $15 instead of $15,000, and that's because the rules are not transparent in a lot of these games. And so
kind of what you're saying is that these coins could be, set by a or these swords could be set by a protocol so that there's only 15 swords rather than 15,000 swords, kind of like Bitcoin.
Provable scarcity like Bitcoin.
Exactly. Right. Smart contracts, which is the foundation of blockchain 2.0.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I'm not sure how many minutes do we have left, Doug?
We had about 30 seconds.
Yeah, we got about a minute.
Okay, we got about a minute. Doug, let's go back over everything. Well, first, real quick, give us the information and how people can find out about your project.
We are at cwv.io, and we're not just a service provider, we're not just a consultant. We don't charge you money to use our platform. In fact, we pay you to use our platform because we have an incubation fund. So if you're a game developer, we'll give you money to help you get started.
Awesome. All right, now Doug, let's get to it. Tell us about the event again, and everybody come out, get some crypto. Free crypto?
Go to phoenixcrypto.com, find out about all of our ATM locations. This week I have ATM of the Week at Trader Smoke Shop in North Scottsdale. But tonight after the show, we're also going to go over to Classic Crust if you want to come down and chat with us and buy some Bitcoin. I'll offer a discount if you want to buy tonight over there at Classic Crust too.
There you go. So save 30% on cryptocurrencies and learn how to use a wallet. We'll set you up with a wallet and get you going.